If you like traveling for cheap, or camping, or anything having to do with minimalism or tiny homes, then you might find what I've been doing pretty interesting. Basically, for the entire past year, I have been traveling across the US, exploring as much as I can, like national parks and big cities and everything in between. And the whole time I have been doing this, I have been living completely and self-sufficiently out of my Toyota Prius. So even though most people don't believe it's possible, I have everything I need to live a fully functional life inside my car, except for a shower and a toilet, but I already have it figured out how to use a shower and a toilet. So this is the inside of my car. Basically, I have a sleeping platform that folds out to behind the seat, and I've showed this in a bunch of videos already, but this is my air mattress. This is my sleeping bag. I sleep right here. I get a full night of sleep at night. I have a microwave and a fridge and all kinds of stuff. Now, I'm not going to be giving a tour of the inside of my Prius camper and all the modifications I've done and stuff, because I already did that in a different video. I'll put a link in the description if you want to watch it. In this video, I'm going to be going over basically common FAQs that I get, like why I live in my car right now, how it happened, and whether it's out of choice or out of necessity. And it was kind of both, and I'll explain that in a minute. So yeah, long story short, it started out as necessity. I started living in my other car. It was a Subaru Forester. I built that one out to be a camper also, and I needed a place to live. The COVID-19 pandemic had just hit, and it had sunken my business that I had just started. You know, I wasn't really making much profit anymore, and I couldn't get a place to live, and so I figured out that I could live in my car. And so I started living in that car for a while, and then I decided I wanted to travel. And I had a lot of money saved, so I was able to travel, but the problem is traveling around in the last car I had was too expensive because it was only getting like 17 miles a gallon. And so I bought this car, Toyota Prius, because I get 40, sometimes over 50 miles a gallon. The reason I bought this car, and the reason I'm living in this car right now, really is to travel and to explore for cheap. So yeah, and before I started that business that I was talking about, I had a normal life that most people do. I had an apartment for a long time. I had a job for a long time, and I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, and basically up to that point, I had lived in the South my whole life. Like, I had never lived anywhere outside of the Southeast, and I was a little bit older, a little bit wiser, and I wanted to see what else was out there. I wanted to go explore the rest of it, and I was also going on road trips for a few years, cross-country road trips with a friend, and that was really exposing me to seeing other cultures and seeing, you know, everything else that's out there. And so that got me interested in traveling. And I was gonna say, when I built this car out to be a camper, my goal was to make it the ultimate stealth camping traveling machine. I wanted to be able to drive it anywhere, park it anywhere, and I could sleep anywhere. It's a Prius, so it's a very common car. It doesn't stick out. I don't have a bunch of bumper stickers or any external storage or anything. It's just a normal plain car, and I tinted the windows, and I have window covers that go in and you can't see inside, and it's just completely stealth. And so I can literally take this thing anywhere and park almost anywhere and sleep there, and nobody would ever know I was in there. And also the cool thing is I can travel for so cheap. Like, I get 50 miles a gallon, 40 to 50 miles a gallon, so I spend hardly anything on gas. Like, I spend about $200, $250 in gas, maybe a tiny bit more now that gas prices have gone up, but gas is my biggest expense, and I don't ever pay for campgrounds. I don't ever pay for hotel rooms, hostels, none of that. Everywhere I go, I sleep or camp in my car at night for free. Like right now, a good example, I'm in a national forest right now in North Georgia. These are the kind of sites I often go to. See, there's a fire ring right here. There's a dirt road out here. It's like a Forest Service road, and there's a nice creek down here. It's just a nice little peaceful area. It's a primitive campsite, basically. I come to these primitive campsites. When I'm going cross country, these are the kind of places I stay. I don't ever have to pay to stay in places like this. If I'm not staying in a place like this, I'll stay at a Walmart parking lot, or if I can't find a good Walmart, I'll stay in like a hotel parking lot, or maybe like a rest area or something like that. So yeah, like when I first started living in my car, I had like no intention of traveling cross country. It never crossed my mind. I mean, everybody would like to travel. I think it's just so expensive. Like they think you have to go eat out every night, stay at a hotel every night, spend $100 a night at a hotel. But because I can travel so cheap, like I literally can travel for about $400 or $500 a month. Gas, food, and other expenses, that's about what it equals up to, is about $400 or $500 a month. I've always liked camping, and I've always liked the outdoors. Like my whole life, I've been hiking up and down the different parts of the Appalachian Trail and stuff like that. And so it just it happened organically. It happened perfectly. It was like a perfect time in my life. And some people call me homeless. Some people call me a nomad. Some people call me a minimalist. I don't refer to myself of any of those things. I don't really like labels. This is just, a period of my life. This is what I'm doing right now. And I started a YouTube channel, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm enjoying exploring and sharing stuff with people. And one thing I wanted to say though is I'm not trying to influence people to live in their car or to buy a Prius or anything like that, okay? I'm just sharing my experiences. Yes, the Prius gets good gas mileage, and it's got all kinds of features that are good for camping and traveling. I've got a lot of emails and messages from people saying they want to go out and get a Prius now, and they want to live in their car. Just keep in mind, like, you're living in a car, okay? I do not suggest living in a car like really long term. Like for a few years of your life where you're feeling adventurous, like I feel right now, like you want to just go out and see everything. Yeah, it's really fun, and the Prius is great because it's cheap, but just make sure that it's what you really want to do. You know what I mean? Make sure you understand the drawbacks of living in a car. Like you're living in a little cramped space. Like unless you can find like a dispersed campsite like this, you're in a little cramped space. I mean, you don't have like a house with a backyard, or an apartment with like a bunch of rooms, or just, you know what I mean, like a kitchen and a living room and all that. So just keep that in mind before you decide that you want to live in a car or something like that. I don't know how long I plan on doing this. I might do it for another year. I might do it for another 5 years. I might start applying for jobs soon, like 9-to-5 jobs. I'm not really sure. Speaking of jobs, one question that I get asked regularly about is, how do I make money? Okay, so that's what I will talk about right now. Basically, the way I've made money up to this point has been different every time. And so I will explain to you what I've done up to this point. So basically, when I first started, like I said, I had that business that I started, and I saved up a bunch of money that lasted a while. It lasted me like 6 months. I probably saved up like $8,000. And I bought my Prius. I got a good deal. I paid $3,100 for this car, and it only had 113,000 miles on it. And I put like $2,000 worth of gear into it, like the 12-volt refrigerator and this power inverter thing right here, and just all the stuff that I have in there. And so after all that, I probably had like $4,000. I forget the exact numbers, but it was enough to last me like probably about like 6 months. And my biggest suggestion for people that need to make money while living in their car, or traveling or something like that is Uber Eats or DoorDash or Instacart. Those are great ways to make quick, easy money, and you can work on your own schedule. Now, I started doing Uber Eats for a while, but I have a dog. My dog isn't with me right now. My dog's at a relative's house right now. But somebody complained because I delivered their food with my dog in the car. Now, I understand why they did it. But if you don't have a dog in your car, those are great ways. When that money ran out, the money that I saved for my business, it lasted me like 6 months or so. I then went back and I did it some more. I went back to where my storage unit was, where I had all my like business materials and the stuff that I used to run the business, and I did it for like about 4 more months, and I saved up another like $6,000 or so, and that has lasted me about up to this point. And so yeah, because it's so cheap to do what I do. But I also have a YouTube channel, and I'm making a little bit of money on YouTube, and I'm an Amazon affiliate. I'm making a little bit of money as an Amazon affiliate. I don't know what I'm going to do in the future. Like I said, I might apply for a 9-to-5 job soon. I'm keeping my options open. You know what I mean? I'm taking it one day at a time. I don't even know where I'm going tomorrow, so we'll just see what happens. But yeah, that's a little bit of a history of why I'm traveling, and I feel like I should have explained this earlier in the video. So while I've been traveling, I've just been going cross country, across the US, and looking at everything. Basically, I go to every big city. I go to like lots of small cities, small towns. I have a national park pass. I go to every national park I come across, national monuments, national forests. I go to national seashores. I drive as many scenic highways as I can find. I have an inflatable kayak. I go kayaking a lot. I have a drone. I have fun with my drone, flying up and exploring things. Just anything I can find, really, wherever it leads me. And that's what I've been doing. I like last summer I went all the way out to like the Four Corner states, Colorado, Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, and I stayed in that region for like 5 months, and then I came back and worked a little. And this summer I've been on the East Coast in the Appalachia region, like Virginia, West Virginia, North Carolina, Tennessee, and now I'm in Georgia. And also, one more tip I was going to give about finances is I always make sure that I have at least $2,000 in my bank account at all times. $2,000, in my opinion, that's a good like safety amount. And by safety, I mean like if you ever have any kind of emergency, $2,000 will cover most emergencies. And the emergencies that I worry about the most are auto repairs. Okay, $2,000 will cover almost any auto repairs. In my experience, the only auto repairs that are more expensive than $2,000 would be like something really extreme, like an engine swap. If I had to get like a whole new engine, that would be about $2,500, maybe a little less. Or a transmission swap would be about, like a new transmission would be about the same. But also the hybrid batteries of these cars can be expensive. If something happened to my hybrid battery, now I could probably get the hybrid battery repaired. There's lots of different ways to repair the hybrid battery. You can buy a refurbished one for like $500, or you can get a whole new one for like $1,700. But I'll figure that out when that time comes. All right, now I know I'm going to get asked this question, so I'll go ahead and answer it right now before a bunch of people ask me, and that is, how do I go to the bathroom? Okay, so basically when I'm in a city area, like suburb, city, anywhere, where there's a lot of civilization, I simply just use public restrooms. I prefer to use like restrooms at like a park, like a public park, just because it's not like a private business. But if I can't get to one of those, then I'll go to like a McDonald's or a Walmart or a gas station, or even the porta potties. Those are good to use too. But if I'm not in a city area, then this is what I use right here. So this is what I carry in my car at all times. I have a toilet paper, and this is a folding shovel that I got on Amazon. Basically, for when I'm camping, I just take this out, It folds out like that. You can see it's dirty because I've been using it, and I simply just go out somewhere far away and I dig a hole at least 6 inches deep, go in the hole, and then put the dirt back on the hole. It's really that simple. All right, so that's just a little bit of a background of how I got to where I'm at. And there's a whole lot more I wanted to say, but I will just incorporate it into future videos. I wanted to keep this video short. So I also wanted to say thank you to everyone who watches and subscribes. I just got to 10,000 subscribers, which is crazy to me. And yeah, thanks. I'll see you in the next video.